Well, hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today is a beautiful day here in the Midwest. Have a little bit of humidity going on, a little bit of sweat, but other than that, we're all good. Couldn't ask for a better day. So I thought I would bring you a little bit of what I bring on a daily basis when I come out to fly my Spark. Some of you guys are going to say, like, what in the heck are you doing? And others are going to say, oh, hey, that's kind of a good idea, but I'm going cheap. I haven't bought a special case for the Spark yet, so this is what we got. I bought the Fly More combo. It came with 2 different cases. Yes, I do know that I could fit everything all in here. I prefer not to. I don't like how the Spark, if you put it in here, is loose and moves around, and I like, personally, the protection that this gives. It is nice and secure. It is in its place. It's not going to rattle around. There's not other stuff beating up against it as you're carrying your bag or driving down the road or whatever. So I've continued to carry it in this case. Now I know that this is not a long-term solution. This is just, you know, basically styrofoam painted black, I'm guessing. So my guess is this is not a long-term solution, but this is a cheap solution. So I keep my Spark in here. I generally have a fully loaded battery in the Spark while it's in here. If I've just finished flying, as I just did here, you'll see this is actually one with a almost empty battery in it. I have 3 others. You will notice that I have a Sharpie. It's kind of coming off a little bit there, but I've got a 1, a 2, a 3, and you will see in here is a 4, and that just helps me kind of identify which batteries are which, so I can kind of try and keep them closely utilized, so that I'm not just randomly grabbing this, accidentally grabbing the same one all the time and using that all the time. That way they get kind of roughly similar type of usage. So these first 2 here are the 2 that came from the Fly More package. 3rd and 4th one here I bought. Well, I signed up on the DJI website. I purchased them, or I signed up to be notified when they were in stock, probably the day of or the day after that I ordered my Fly More combo, but they didn't come in for probably 2 or 3 weeks. It took a while to get those. So the 3 and 4 are probably 3 weeks to a month newer than the first 2. So the first 2 still have more flights on them. But that's fine. We're going to just keep kind of using them as we go forward. So the Fly More combo also came with a SD card adapter as well as a micro SD card. The SD card, that 16 gig micro SD card, is actually in the camera that is recording right now, which is actually a Yi 4K Plus action camera. I just got that recently, using that for filming. I also bought 2 more SanDisk Extreme 64 gigs. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. You'll see that I've also numbered with a Sharpie on each one of those as well. That way I can kind of keep track of those in the same way that I do my batteries. As I mentioned, Fly More combo, so I got the remote control. I personally would not buy a Spark without having a remote control. For my usage, and I know there's different people use the Spark for different uses, and that's honestly one of the great things about the Spark is the usage profile is far and wide, and I think DJI has done a good job with that. Being a guy that comes from the technology industry, you talk about use cases, and there are many different use cases for the Spark. You know, there's use cases for just using it in gesture mode with no remote control, without using even your phone. There's all different use cases for it. I personally enjoy using it with the remote controller. I do not ever control it with just my phone, and the only time we ever play with the gesture mode and all that is when my son and I are playing around with it. Alright, so we have our case, we have our Spark here, we talked about our SD cards. I have 2 of the 64 gigs plus the 16 that came with it, and really I'm using those. That's overkill if you're just doing flights and doing pictures and videos, and you go and you download it and then delete it and then do it again the next day. I'm using those cards for cameras and other stuff as well. It made sense for me to buy a couple extra 64 gigs, be able to kind of share them amongst my different devices. I generally keep 2 of these in here, and then I keep the extra in the bag that came with the remote control for the Fly More combo. there's a little pocket in here. I generally will stick it in there, and I'll fold up my remote control. Fold it up, and I will stick it in here. And then I use this area. So this is the area. There's plenty of room in here to be able to fit a Spark in here if you wanted to, but again, I prefer not to have it banging against the remote control and all that. So I actually use this for some of my filming gear. Sometimes I'll put my Yi in here. I have a bigger Canon camera that's a little bit more full size I'll put in here that I use for my other filming for these videos. So it's a little much if you're just using the Spark, you're not doing any additional videos like I'm doing here. It's a bit much having both cases, but you know, it's really not a big deal. I end up just sliding both of these into my backpack. iPhone 6s, 90, actually today was the first time I've used the OTG cable, on the go I think is what OTG stands for. So I'm just using a USB to Lightning cable, which is what works for an iPhone under normal circumstances. I have this little adapter that I got off of Amazon. Came in a package of 2 of them. Most of the time I use this when I'm doing some screen recording because iOS does not allow you to do screen recording from this. I'll use this to connect between the remote control and the phone and use Wi-Fi to my home network to be able to do other things with my phone for the recording of the screen. So that's most of the time when I'm using an OTG cable. I'd actually bought a smaller one, some random brand, I forgot. It doesn't work, so it was shorter. So I've just been using this one here. I don't even know what brand this is. This one seems to work for me. I've got you know, the standard Apple Lightning cable and an Amazon Basics one that I've also used that work just fine. You get this device might not be supported when you connect to it. Sometimes you have to unplug and plug again, but it's really not a big deal. It just seems to work. When I did the firmware upgrade, I could not use this. It gave me an error when I tried to do the firmware upgrade, so I had to connect from Wi-Fi on this to this. In this pocket in my bag, I've actually got a little rag, I guess you'd call it, for cleaning lenses and so on. There's additional cables. If I want to throw the Yi up on my head to do, you know, recording of what's in front of me, I can put this on. So I've got a few extra cables, earbuds, and different things in there. But that's pretty much it. That's what I use when I'm out and going out to a park or going somewhere to do a little videoing. So right now my son is just at baseball practice about half a mile that way. So using this time to do a little video. So hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Again, get out, have a great day. Go do something you haven't done before. Get outside. Go to a park you haven't been to. Go to a park that you've been to. Get outside, take steps, do something. Don't let yourself get out of control. Have a great day. All right, we'll see you guys later.